Hey, pal.
Hey there, can you help me?
What seems to be the problem?
It's my friend Murphy. He went to the film store, but it's been a while, and I'm starting to worry. Can you check on him for me?
Okay, I'll try to help.
Really? Thank you. It's the big yellow building down the street. Can you bring Murphy back safely for me, please?
Okay. So find the kid, or find the kid's friend Murphy. How hard could that be, right? Terminal should be a good place to start. Shoplifting prevention. To all team members, we've noticed a higher than average incident rate of shoplifting over the past 2 quarters, especially when it comes to small jewelry items and dresses. Sales associates are not advised to directly confront customers. Security is employed for a reason, and our Protectron should be more than up to the task. The unfortunate deaths of the last 2 shoplifters were what? Oh, and this is from the COO. Okay. Okay, so that wasn't helpful.
Everybody, got some news.
Followed by flashes, blinding flashes.
What's going on?
Sounds of explosions.
Did you hear the news?
We're trying to get confirmation.
What's happening?
We seem to have lost contact with our affiliate stations.
Oh, that is bad news.
We do have coming in. That's
Oh no.
confirmed reports. I repeat, confirmed reports of nuclear detonations in New York
Oh
and
my God, it's happening.
Pennsylvania.
Oh God.
My
Oh
God,
God. This is it.
our soldiers are worried.
It's finally happening.
War never changes.
Well, that was wildly informative. What's on this one? Workshop etiquette. Not many bother reading terminals in these dark times, but in the event you are, come on in and appreciate your surroundings. Life out there is exhausting. A place like this, you can be yourself. I trust you're alone. If you aren't, well, I can see you, but you won't be able to see me. I've put some of my work on display. Don't touch the fuse box unless you want to disable water and power. You've added safeguards against interior decoration on lower floors. Leave my Brahmin outside. Don't think twice before heading upstairs. Huh. I don't know if I like this. But that kid, I gotta save the kid for the kid. Well, no matter what weirdness I've stepped into. Illyrios? Fashion masks. For centuries, the hockey mask has been associated with homicide, referred to as a security risk or a flag of psychopathy. Few remember why anymore, but I do. Back in those days, you were expected to smile at people who didn't care about you because it was polite. I'd like to think we've evolved. This path wasn't forced on me. A rotting skin, shot vocal cords, ostracization. What is... Somewhere the masks express their piety? Their desire for increased mobility and privacy in social settings. To hide an unfortunate incident with a vial of acid, or simply as a rejection of Western notions of sexuality. And you wear it to avoid small talk. Who writes this shit? And they're supposed to be... Okay, I really just don't know. This is on a wall computer? Film connoisseur. Thousands of hours watching my 20th and 21st century horror films, so he's pre-war. Included these certain tropes need to die. Let's split up. Running upstairs. Mirror scares. Oh, so you really are a bona fide psychopath. Based on a true story? No, not really. Evil children. Evil dolls are a foot tall and lack basic motor skills. Evil children. Once you determine the child is evil, explaining to the authorities how the pint-sized terror perished by your hand is the only realistic challenge. Celebrating too early, untimely sex, hitchhikers, stupid kids. Yeah, wow. You're really on point with this, you weirdo. Useless police officers. The killer is in the back seat because of course he is. Of course he is. Don't go up the stairs, huh? What happens if I do, though? Okay, well, that's one way to answer my question. What Why am I naked? Why? I guess you dropped the soap, didn't you? Why? What is that? Is that a rib cage? Is that why I'm not supposed to bring bra? I don't like this. What kind of trap is this? What? Ah, pressure plate with scale, okay. Fire. What? First aid. Wait. Yep. Whoa. Is that a... Yeah. No fire now. Okay, so you put me in here with the first aid. What kind of saw-like shit have I fallen into? Really should have taken my lockpicks. Because now, I'm gonna get out of here. Ha! Nice. Really should have checked for bobby pins. What the fuck? What? You are so fucked. I am so fucked. What? Who are you? Rule breakers will be
hungry,
shot or
and so
worse.
is everyone
this
else.
or worse? Fusion cells, no pistol. Of course, I don't have anything on me. But at least I have some pants now. Have some pants. That's it. Ha. Oh no, this probably isn't gonna end well. Isn't going to end well for you, is what I meant to say. Okay, let's get some of this armor. You have no, they don't give you any guns. You're supposed to be a prison guard with no guns. You barely have any armor. This is ridiculous. Whatever.
What the?
Am I completely sure I want to read another one of the slave procedures? When a new fish arrives, they're to be stripped, disinfected, and subjected to a full cavity inspection to ensure they aren't smuggling anything in. This should take place in full view of the other slaves for maximum psychological effect. Catalog possessions, the traps are for show. Most of them should be kept deactivated, but please remember which ones are live for it, Butch. Radio ads should be played over the intercom at no longer than 10-minute intervals to ensure continual disruption of prisoners' sleep habits? What? Why? So you torture them? We're in the business of slave trading, not prisoner rehabilitation. Provide the bare minimum for survival until we can find a buyer for the slave, that is all. So is it a prison or is it a slave trade? Is it a prison and a slave trade? I mean, is that necessarily? Let's see, log down, execute the male raider slaves, finding buyers for this latest batch is taking too long. Execute one of the females at random in front of the others, chain the rest up for the next week, and reduce food and water rations by half? Use a Braxo to remove graffiti. This is like a full business? I know, I gotta stop reading these terminals.
Oak and varnish tradition that really keeps
leads me
things
into this
classic.
kind of, what, I just wanted to help the kid. Just wanted to help the kid.
progress.
What? Hanging grenades, hanging cans, laser tripwire. This is way too organized. Was that a thermostat? Whatever. I gotta find a way out of here.
Sweet.
Oh, shock me. More hallways. This building's a lot bigger than I thought it was. What the fuck? Okay. Why'd you put a mine there? What?
There you are!
You're floppy. Why do you look just like the other guy? Why do you have the same armor as the other guy? What kind of... Okay. Aftermath. Why did it have to happen on a Saturday? Only a few dozen of us made it in. The Abernathys, Hutchins, Shaw, Finch, Warwick, Sullivan, Hargraves, Pembroke, my family, and a few others. If it were Friday, there'd be dozens more of us. Could have been worse, I suppose. It's just dumb luck that Candace decided to schedule Bring Your Kids to Work Day on a Saturday. She ended up saving us all. Feel like a piece of garbage for firing her. Got enough food and supplies to wait this out. Running short on beds. Everyone's wondering if we can move upstairs. Water purifier, water purifier, water purifier. Everything's about the water purifier. Everybody's dead. We haven't ventured that far. Still worried about radiation. As much as we're prepared, we can't count on being the only ones. We may have underestimated this thing. We assumed the attacks were predominantly centered on military targets and population centers. Being in Concord instead of Boston helped us not get vaporized. Well, I figured it. Wow, this is really. Who are you writing this for? Alright, on food and water, using graphene oxide to purify nutrients with plants and fish hydroponics. Okay, nice. Morale's understandably low. Yeah. Main thing's education about radiation. So, okay, so this seems. Well, okay, if you're the sensible one, who was the creepy guy writing the other terminal? After the initial explosion, wow, you're going into a whole. You are not the same person that wrote in the other terminal, so there's more than one of you in here. I guess I should just be happy that there's still this many working terminals. Oh wow, so wow, they've actually scouted farming locations. Yeah, established close to home radius. Yeah, 50 years ago. You really need to kind of branch. It's 50 years? They stayed here 50 years? Found a few promising locations. Honest labor for farming, they call a bunch of brutal nonsense. Best know what you're doing. So the Abernathys went to a farm by a tower, farm under the ruined overpass. The Finch brothers. So, okay, farming. They're prioritizing farming. Farm under the other ruined overpass. So they're going to send some robots to that one. Waste treatment. So they're going to send... Wait, the Warwicks are going to the other side of the Commonwealth to the waste treatment plant? At Fenway Park, yeah. This place is an absolute mess. What? Well, yeah, but it's Fenway Park. That could be useful. That could be a good place to set up. Definitely. Let's see. The Great Green Jewel. Cleanup took over 5 years, and if you ask me, the place still looks like a dump. Have my doubts whether ever get it looking good, but nonetheless, it's what some people are calling home now. It does have its advantages, centrally located, well fortified, and the baseball field is an ideal trading hub. All things we lack here in Concord. It can turn into a prosperous community. The Great Green Jewel nickname is overreaching a little. Polished turd, more accurate. Battle at Diamond City. A horde of super mutants attacked Diamond City yesterday. Would have been a disaster if it weren't for a group of militia guys calling themselves the Minutemen. One guy in their squad, Murphy, ended up single-handedly saving a whole group of school children. Paranoia about ferals as high as ever. But yeah, I'd say saving a school bus full of kids will get you some kudos. CPG. Commonwealth Provisional Government. So government creeps back in. It only takes 50 years. Can't have a government without a justice system, and can't have a justice system without a prison. Huh. So that's how it started, with the government. And a justice system. That's ironic. Commonwealth justice. With the dissolution of the... What? It's already been dissolved, no tax money. Murphy still believes in the cause, but to make ends meet, he's told us the operation needs to become self-funding. Slave trading seems like the only option. The alternative, releasing rapists and murderers back into the Commonwealth, is far less attractive. At least this way we get them out of the Commonwealth. Well, wow, there's that though. Walkabout. I'm getting too old for this warden crap. I've been doing it too long. Call this whatever you want. Sabbatical, retirement, or an extended vacation, but it's time for me to take a walkabout. I can satisfy that itch for the open road and the space over the horizon. Think I might head south for a while. Leave Raina in charge. Oh, okay, so that was Murphy. Corpse. Jeez, Raina. Yeah. So it seems like Raina's the psycho. Murphy being the safer one. Now maybe the safe is where all my stuff is. And another door to open. My stuff better be in the safe. Please, 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 please be in the safe. Be in the safe. Be in the safe. Yes. Enjoy the ride. Screw you. Oh, fuck.
Well, well, aren't you the overachiever? I've been admiring your handiwork. We all have.
We?
Put on a good show. Maybe you're not useless after all.
Murphy.
Our new friend surely has some questions. Perhaps we should introduce ourselves.
That'd be
Name's
lovely.
Murphy.
Yeah,
Head
I figured.
upstairs to the top floor. I've got a proposition for you.
And don't worry, we'll play nice this time.
Huh.
Gotta admit, I'm impressed. Stella here tells me this was all her little ruse. No hard feelings, huh?
I will not be recommending this place to my friends.
And a sense of humor, too. I like it. Sorry for any misunderstanding. We're a shoot first, ask questions later kind of place. Never can be too careful with looters breaking and entering these days.
Don't misunderstand. We're not criticizing you. Those were fair kills. You didn't know who we were, and we didn't know you from a random looter. Thankfully, Stella fessed up.
Hey, I was just trying to have a little fun. How was I supposed to know they weren't a common criminal?
Yeah, we're all friends now. Let's skip to the part where you help me.
That's rather presumptuous. After taking out 2 of our crew, I wasn't under the impression we owed you anything.
Well, that all depends. What kind of help are you looking for?
Hold on. I have some questions first.
All right, humor me. What do you want to know?
Could you tell me anything about the kid?
Stella hasn't had it easy. Her dad was never in the picture, and her mom raised her at University Point most of her life, until the Institute torched the place. I met Stella and her mom Judy after they fled to Quincy in 2285, helped them build a life for themselves there. And then the Quincy massacre happened.
What was the Quincy massacre?
We can get into that some other time. Let's just say that life's greatest dangers often come not from external enemies, but from our supposed friends, who pretend to work for the common cause while scheming to sabotage it. When the Minutemen betrayed Quincy, most of the residents ended up slaughtered by the gunners, Judy included. I managed to get Stella out, and we made our way north to Concord.
And that traitor Preston followed us here. I'm telling you, he was working with Clint the whole time. And now he's right down the street. And you still won't do anything about it.
We've been over this, Stella. Innocent until proven guilty. You want me to focus on keeping this place safe from the gunners? Or waste time dealing with the loudmouth fool in the silly hat?
Both. I want justice for what they did to my mom.
And like I explained, you'll get it, if you have patience. Garvey will get what's coming to him eventually. But for now... Wait, hold up. You hear that?
Who's there?
Get a load of these. Take no pleasure in this. Kidding. I love it. afraid those guys might show up. Thanks for your help. You alright?
What was that all about?
It's complicated. What do you know about the Gunners?
Give me the short version.
Alright, I'll sum it up. No one's really sure where the Gunners started out, but something changed about 8 or 9 years ago. Out of nowhere, they started sporting plasma weapons, advanced combat gear, and even vertibirds. Doesn't make any sense. Where did they get all that stuff from?
That's a good question. I guess... I don't know.
People bitch about the Institute, but look at what's really been going on. Quincy, GNN, Mass Bay Medical, Mass Fusion, 2 vaults, and all the major freeways. It's the Gunners, not the Institute, who've been gaining the most ground in the Commonwealth.
How much of a threat are they?
No one invests the resources to capture those strategic locations without a larger agenda. Someone's behind it. We're just not sure who or what. At this point, there's not much to keep the Gunners from taking Good Neighbor, Diamond City, or the towns up north.
Is there a reason that you're bringing this up?
You mean besides the fact that we just got ambushed here in Concord? There needs to be a group to stand up to these assholes. Someone strong, organized, and local. And I'm not talking about the Minutemen. I mean someone with real stones.
So, what did you have in mind? I'm gonna need some more in the way of details.
Ultimately, you gotta ask yourself who you want protecting things. A bunch of Muppets who can't defend what's theirs, or hardened killers who can handle themselves.
Well, I hadn't thought of it that way.
Uncertainty is sometimes better than an overt threat. If you build a reputation for being a little crazy, your opponents are never sure what messing with you will cost. So, they tend to avoid finding out.
Settlers can't instill that kind of fear. Whether it's against raiders, synths, mercs, super mutants, or even mole rats. They've proven time and again that they're incapable of deterring threats to their property over the long term. The Minutemen worked for a while, but they ended up self-destructing.
What happened to the Minutemen?
Depends who you ask. The challenge with running a militia is that volunteers inevitably have their own agendas. For a coalition to last, there needs to be a chain of command where members don't feel too constrained by your influence.
But still fear you enough to follow your lead.
Maintaining morale requires convincing soldiers to think less about themselves and more about the group. Involve them in a cause, a crusade against a hated enemy, and make them see their survival as tied to the success of the militia as a whole.
Of course, it's easier said than done.
Somewhere along the way, we lost that sense of common purpose. Infighting took over, and the militia gradually splintered into different groups. Some became raiders or joined the Gunners. Others just disappeared. Quincy was the final blow, and now we're back at square one.
Jesus, what a mouthful. What's the plan again?
Whether it's the Gunners, the Institute, or who knows what other groups are out there, they're too powerful to take on directly. So we've got to use our weaknesses as strengths.
If your enemy is big and you're small, then by extension, you're fast and they're slow. You're hidden and they're exposed.
So we break our forces into independent cells who can operate elusively and autonomously, fighting only the battles we know we can win, capturing the enemy's weapons and gear along the way.
And using those tools against them in the next encounter. That way, the enemy is supplying us, and we grow stronger as they grow weaker.
Makes sense, I suppose. What's our next move?
The Gunners are calculated and cautious. It's gonna take them a while to figure out what just happened, which provides us an opening. The critical elements in any campaign are speed and adaptability, making decisions faster than the enemy can.
Striking first, before the Gunners have time to assess and formulate a response, may throw them off balance. Their nearest outpost is up on the freeway, southeast of Walden Pond. That's likely where the attack came from. The freeway wasn't particularly well guarded to begin with. Probably even less so after the raid.
I want you to head over there, take out their remaining guards, and steal their weapons, so we can fortify our presence here in Concord. Prove to me you can handle that task, and I'll have a larger project for you when you return.
And if you want bonus points, there's rumor of a raider's stash over by Corvega. We'll mark the location on your map.